Hey guys, Ryan and Haley here with Tycor Title Talk. What's going on, Haley?
What's up, Ryan?
Life is good.
Hi guys, thank you for tuning in on this another episode edition.
Yeah.
We are doing something a little different today. We had done kind of a poll and reached out to our people and asked some questions about what are some top title questions.
Yeah, the top 5 or so title questions from our clients about what the heck is title, who pays for it, all these things floating around. So we had our first one come in from an agent out in Oceanside from us, and it's the very simple, good kickoff question. What is title insurance?
You know what? It's funny we get asked this because it's a very common question of like, what the hell is title insurance?
Yeah, I mean, it insures backwards instead of forwards, like your Geico or your Allstate. If you get in a wreck, you're insured. This in any debt, any financial encumbrance, any physical encumbrance or encroachment, or any liens, anything on the title that happened in the past between the last title insurance date to this transaction closing, we are responsible for making sure there's a clean bill of health that transfers over to the mortgage lender in a refi or the buyer in a purchase, right?
Mm-hmm.
She's the expert.
Yeah, so I mean, it's really protecting the incoming buyer or borrower free and clear of any judgments or liens or anything that's overclouding the title from that previous seller. Or, you know, if it's a borrower, say they had some liens come up, those all have to be cleared out to ensure the lender that there's not going to be, you know, they're going to be in first position to be paid off prior to those liens. So It's really important, one of the most important. But what's number 2?
So from a broker in Mission Valley, we get who pays for title insurance.
Ooh, who does pay? So usually these are all negotiable terms, right? But typically in a real estate transaction, the seller will pay for the owner's policy because they're ensuring the new buyer that their liens and everything has been covered.
Right.
And then the buyer typically pays for the lender's policy if they're getting financing because they're ensuring the lender that they will be in first position. So it's typically split between the buyer and seller, but those are all negotiable terms, but that's pretty standard practice.
Yeah, 2 policies on a purchase. One, the owner protects the buyer, and the second, the concurrent policy or lender's policy, the buyer protects their mortgage lender. And I think it's something over 90% of purchases have a mortgage associated with it. So there's usually 2. In the refi, like she said, the borrower's covering the mortgage person.
And we can get into the weeds. Give us a call. There's, you know, the CLTA policy for binders, which are investor-friendly policies, but typically it's the 2 Alta policies for the Alta homeowners and the Alta loan policy.
Cool. So that brings us to question number 3. Why is title insurance necessary?
Ooh.
Kind of covered it, but
yeah, that's a good question though, because, you know, we've seen a lot of things come up where certain companies now are doing attorney in fact letters or opinion letters. And, you know, I've seen a lot of attorneys mess up a lot of things being on the title chain or on the title desk. So
yeah.
I would never really trust that, because what if something does come up, if there is a refi or something that a lien came up where the attorney didn't know or wasn't privy, it didn't come up, it came up on their social security number, they approved it, and then all of a sudden you go to sell or refi, and then this lien that you had is now 10 times the amount and it cuts into your proceeds. So
Absolutely.
I think that's why it's super important. Nobody can come back and say, I have interest in this property. There can't be a cousin from Ohio whose aunt passed away who somehow has interest. All of that gets taken care of through the title insurance
and
process.
the California Association of Realtors has it on the car contract for a reason, that you are able to demonstrate clear title. And it just makes sense to have the title companies like neck on the chopping block instead of the seller, so they can sleep at night after they leave out of that transaction.
Mm-hmm.
And that leads us to question number 4. We had a La Mesa agent that wanted to know, how long does title insurance last?
Ooh, that's a good one. That's a good question.
Yeah.
So it lasts all the way up until your next policy.
Right.
So
a lifetime, potentially.
Potentially,
right?
yeah. But if you're refinancing, you will be issued a new lender's policy because you are getting a new loan on the property. And then the homeowner's policy is good until you sell the property.
Oh, that's really good. So yeah, policy to policy. This one's from South Bay and Chula Vista. What is the process for filing a claim under a title insurance company? So contact your salespeople, right?
Yes.
And if it's with us, contact us, or you can just find the 800 number, Google whatever title company, call the 800, call the main office branch and let them know that you need to file a claim, that something's come up with the policy, and they'll usher you in with all the right people to get that started.
Thankfully, I think Tycor title, we're under like 10% all of lifetime of claims. So you work with us, you got a good team on your hands.
Well, an ounce of prevention, like we always say, is worth a pound of cure. A little bit of work ahead of time saves all the heartburn of claims and all those things and all those lawyers you got to deal with when you file a claim. It's kind of a labyrinth to get through, but we are so excited to be your title people. If you have any questions about this or title or anything else about title, how do they get a hold of us?
I think we're pretty easy to find. You can email us back. You can call us, text us. We're on social. But yeah, please let us know any questions that you've had. There's quite a few questions on here. We don't have enough time to answer all of them, but we can come back and do, what is probate? What is that kind of like Melrose on a property? All that kind of stuff we do have. So hit us up with your questions and we'd love to do another episode.
All right. Thank you guys. Thank you, Haylie.
Thanks,
Until next time.
Bye.